Welcome back to the Gaelic Grounds for this Limerick Premier Minor Hurling final where Garryspillane lead Patrickswell 1-7 to 1-4 with a mystery score that we thought that Jason Glenn had scored in the 7 minute. It has been waved wide. We've got confirmation from both referee and umpires. So the score is Garryspillane leading by 3 points. Matt Patrickswell are on. A couple of minutes now at this stage. Referee John Paul Kiley blowing his whistle furiously, probably because he's cold, to get Garryspillane back out onto this field. But Matt, it's a 3 point lead for Garryspillane as they come back onto the field. But Patrickswell need to get back into this. It seems from looking at the way they're lining up in the second half, Josh Considine's gone out to midfield. He's been joined by Patrick Kirby, who was effectively fairly anonymous in that first half at top of left. Maybe with a talent like his, a little bit wasted. They need to get back into this game quickly because a 3 point lead in these cold conditions where the ball isn't travelling as far is a big lead.
It is a big lead, and we just confirmed now that it is 3 points. I have been with the referee at half time and the umpire Johnny B, as you say, and we were in very good company because quite a few people asked me on the way down, was the scoreboard right? So a lot of people made the same mistake, but we have to say from where we were, it looked like a point. We didn't do the follow through, but you're right. Garryspillane or Patrickswell, they have made the change. They have beefed up midfield, and Patrick Kirby, from what we saw during the summer, looks to be happier playing at midfield because Limerick persisted with him at midfield throughout the entire campaign practically, and there's much good in having him in corner forward if there isn't a supply going in there. This is a great break by and a fantastic point for Garryspillane by
it's Patrickswell to the point, and it's Cormac Kearns who has got that initially good play from Patrick Kirby. As Matt was talking there, Kirby picked up the loose ball, went off and around, gave it to Kearns, and Kearns skied through the middle of the Garryspillane defence. Maybe a chance of a goal. He decided to tap it over the bar. Either way, it's a 2 point lead, and that's a fine catch by Ryan Tobin on the far side for Garryspillane. It's Tobin with the shot. It's a fairly decent strike from that side from Tobin. It's come out and met by Paul Buston. He decided against catching it. He flicked it away from danger instead, and Patrickswell have the ball now, looking to clear. It's half blocked, and it's going to fall for Owen O'Mahony, who already has 1 point to his name. This should be 2. O'Mahony goes for a goal. Fantastic save from Paul Buston. A low shot, a very difficult one. Buston brilliantly read it. Dived to his right. A fantastic save, Matt.
Fantastic save, but a fantastic shot, John, and really hit the ground at a very, very difficult position for a goalkeeper. Absolutely fantastic bit of goalkeeping by the goalkeeper. But Owen O'Mahony, he literally cut through. He the power that we spoke about before half time. He just showed it. As minors go, this guy is a very, very, very strong young man, and he just showed it there, and he showed how athletic he is, and his execution of his shot was perfect, but it was absolutely a fantastic save by Patrick Buston.
2 good plays in the space of a minute from Paul Buston. He initially flicked the ball away from danger and then followed that up with a truly stunning save as Dylan O'Shea lines up this 65. It's a good strike from Dylan O'Shea, but that has gone to the white and right. We're sure of this one, and that just shows the vital nature of that save from Paul Buston. It could be a huge turning point and a huge moment for Patrickswell.
It could be a huge moment for Patrickswell because this game, there is 2 points in it. This game is going to be decided, John, by very small and very fine margins. We have seen what's between these sides when they have met twice already. There is very, very little between them out there so far this evening, and this game will go right down to the wire, and that could be it could be an absolute huge, and as you said, John, it could be a turning point.
Long ball on both sides, clearance on that occasion from Kieran Sheehan from Garryspillane, but it's Patrickswell in possession now. It's Gavin Carey with it. He's lost the ball and eventually comes up for Garryspillane, and that's Peter Morrissey. Morrissey on the charge, manages to give the ball out to Ryan Tobin. Tobin coming back onto his right hand side. He's still on the run. Tobin beating a couple of Patrickswell defenders, beats another one. Referee John Paul Kiley was playing advantage. A superb run from Ryan Tobin on that occasion, and that's going to be another chance for Dylan O'Shea, and he's going to tap that one over, Matt, and that should restore Garryspillane's 3 point lead.
Yeah, I can see no way that Dylan O'Shea will miss this one. It's straight in front of the goal. It's slightly more than 20 metres out. Ryan Tobin has been prominent in the 4 or 5 minutes we have in the second half. Ryan Tobin is one of the 4 players TJ Ryan took a leap of faith with this year when he put himself, Mark Quinlan, Callum Sheehan and Dylan O'Shea, when he promoted him to the intermediate team and stuck with him. Well, maybe Callum Sheehan for the last 3 games, but the other 3 he stuck with him throughout the campaign. And you know, Ryan Tobin had an effective season at intermediate level.
Dylan O'Shea did absolutely manage to convert that free fairly easily. In backward play, it's going to be another free for Garryspillane, a foul by Cormac Kearns. And it was on the aforementioned Tobin again. Tobin having a growing influence in this game as time goes on. 34 minutes played, 4 minutes of the second half. It's a long range one from Dylan O'Shea, just a few metres out from his own 65-metre line. He missed the last one, the last attempt from the Patrickswell 65-metre line. It's going to be a stretch maybe for O'Shea, but he's confident of taking it. It's a fine strike from Dylan O'Shea. This one looks to be straight over the black spot. It was a difficult effort, but Matt, that's a fantastic strike from Dylan O'Shea, and that puts Garryspillane into a 4-point lead. 4-point lead,
and that's the first bit of daylight that has come between these sides. And that free came exactly from the halfway line. Now, to straight in front of it, but it just shows the distance that Dylan O'Shea can get in these frees. So the challenge is now really laid down to Patrickswell to respond, just as it was laid down with the early goal to Garryspillane. And John, statistics don't lie. We don't like referring to them, but there's 35 minutes gone in the game, and Patrickswell have only scored 5 points since that very first minute.
Indeed, they've had 7 or 8 wides on top of that, as Matt suggests. It's going to be another chance, though, to put a goal between the teams. 3 points between the teams as Calvin Carroll lines up this free about 10-15 metres in from the far sideline here in the Gaelic grounds. They trail by 4 points to Garryspillane in this Premier Minor Hurling Championship final, brought to you live on sportinglimerick.com as Carroll lifts this one. It's a high one from Calvin Carroll. The strike is fairly decent, but it's gone to the right and wide, and that's a huge opportunity missed. It was a tricky enough angle, but Matt, it's one that Calvin Carroll himself would certainly feel he should have done better with.
Yeah, and one we would have expected him from what we saw in the first half. And there's no doubting the importance of that. Now that Garryspillane had gone 4 points ahead for the first time, this was an opportunity to bring him back within 1 score immediately. It didn't happen for Patrickswell. They may regret that one.
This is Paul Buston picks up the loose ball. It's clearance is straight down on top of Ryan Tobin. Tobin, quick delivery in, under pressure from Patrick Kirby, who stayed down now as Patrick Kirby. As Patrickswell tried to come away with this one, but Garryspillane under fierce pressure there, trying to keep the ball in with Shane Hanrahan, but as Patrickswell eventually get a clearance. It's actually Jason Gallan that's down in front of us, right in front of us here in the commentary box in the Gaelic round. It's going to be a Garryspillane sideline cut. But Matt, serious pressure put on, and to be fair, it's been a noticeable throughout the game, throughout the 36 and a half minutes, that Garryspillane have been putting the Patrickswell full back line. Every time they've tried to clear, it's been under severe amount of pressure.
Yeah. Absolutely, they're pressing forward in them, and they're causing them. They're making really work to get it out from that full back line, and you know, you suspect that, you know, sooner or later it may pay off, maybe in the shape, because were Garryspillane to get a goal at this stage, like, it certainly would make it a very long road back for Patrickswell. Now, I think it was Patrick Kirby was down, was it? I thought it was. It's hard to see from.
It's Patrick Kirby, all right. Our cameraman Jack Neville is telling us. Must as well, while we're here, Matt, wish our fellow Sporting Limerick colleague Valerie Wheeler a happy birthday. A Halloween birthday for Valerie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We wish Val the very best today, and wherever she's, I hope viewing what we're streaming this evening, or wherever she is. I met her uncle downstairs actually when I was down at half time, and I have no doubt Val is enjoying herself as only Val can do.
Yes, indeed, and it's Patrick Kirby that's the man who's down. I was initially right. I thought it may have been Jason Glenn, but it's Patrick Kirby that's down. It's going to be Dylan O'Shea to take this sideline cut. O'Shea, It's a fairly good cut. That's a dangerous ball in and around the square. It's blocked away from Patrickswell, and it's away comes Josh Considine with the ball under severe pressure once more. This time it's Callum Sheehan chasing him, but Josh Considine manages to get the ball away. It's a decent ball down to the forwards, but Mark Quinlan has done brilliantly to cut that ball out, but Cormac Kearns has kicked it ahead for Patrickswell, and Kearns on the run now, gets the ball in his hand. Referee John Paul Kiley has adjudged he was fouled. This time it's by Robert Sampson, Matt, and just a little bit of good play from Josh Considine, but Cormac Kearns worked his backside off to win that free for Patrickswell.
He did, and no doubt about it, it was a free, and John Paul Kiley rightly picked it up. But it's a difficult enough angle now for Calvin Carroll. It's a quick opportunity after missing out on the one from the other side to redeem himself. It's a difficult angle now. It's not a gimme, this one. It is. He's crouching over it now, and we just follow it. And yes, no doubt about it. Well taken free by Calvin Carroll, and a good response to missing the target the last time.
Fine effort there from Calvin Carroll. Point of this evening's game. It's Garryspillane leading 1-9 to 1-6. Puck out there from Adam Sheehan. It's a fantastic catch from Ryan Tobin. Can his shot match? It can't. He had to have a go after that fantastic catch right around the middle of the park, but a tail to the left and wide. And Patrickswell will restart play now with Paul Buston's puck out. 3-point the difference here with 10 minutes of the second half played. It's going to be Paul Buston. Long ball down in front. It's a fine strike from Buston, looking for Jason Gillan. It's over Jason Gillan and Brian Heavey. It's Heavey that gets back to collect it, and Heavey now with a bit of space will expect to put a good one on this, but a brilliant block by Josh Considine. It just took too much out of it, and Considine is on the run now. He'll certainly be looking for goal. Well, Josh Considine, he's fouled by Adam Sheehan. Patrickswell still may go for the goal. It's just outside the 14-metre line, so it won't be a penalty. But Matt, it'll certainly be a card for Kieran Sheehan, and one that he can have absolutely no arguments with.
No, it's definitely going to be a card. But the referee is going in. He's consulting with his umpires. I think it's only just to affirm what he thinks he saw. It's a close-in free. Will there be a temptation on the part of Patrickswell to go for a goal? Perhaps. I think the wiser course would be to send it over the bar, but there's a bit of bookwork to be done here now, and it's actually Brian Heavey. Yeah, it's Brian Heavey is the man that he's speaking with. There's definitely a card, definitely bookwork, and it's a yellow card. Yeah, and I think the decision is correct. If I think red would in that situation, I don't think it was in John Paul's mind, to be honest. But it would be extremely harsh.
It's Calvin Carroll makes no mistake from the close range free. 2 points in it again, and Patrickswell with the last couple of points here to reduce Garryspillane's lead to 2 points. 1-9 to 1-7 with 41.5 minutes played of this Premier Minor Hurling Championship final here at the Gaelic Grounds, brought to you live on sportinglimerick.com. As Adam Sheehan restarts play with a long puck out over again to this near side. It's Brian Heavey going up to it. It's a fine catch from Heavey, making up for that yellow card he just picked up. Lays the ball off to Owen O'Mahony. O'Mahony with a fine strike, long high ball in, looking for Callum Sheehan. Well defended though on that occasion by Shane Hannon, and Patrickswell come away with it. And it's Keith Fitzgerald looking for Josh Considine. It's not the best of clearances from Fitzgerald though, and it's Ryan Tobin who picks play up. It's Tobin with the shot, and that's over the bar from Ryan Tobin. A fine effort from Ryan Tobin. Restores Garryspillane's lead to 3, Matt. And Matt, you hailed it in the early stages of this half that Ryan Tobin was having a growing influence. He's on a fairly talented hurler in Josh Considine, but Tobin is certainly coming out on top of that battle at this stage.
He is, and the amount of work he has put through in the 12 odd minutes of this second half has been phenomenal. He's been on the ball so much. He's on it again, and his use of the ball is good as well. And that was an excellent score that just embellished his performance of the first 12 minutes of the second half.
Mark Quinlan with the ball in, but it's very well done and well won by Patrick Kirby, and that a stage from Patrickswell's point of view. Beat Peter O'Dwyer. That ball is a long ball in, but Garryspillane are there in numbers, Michael O'Dwyer, and eventually half cleared by Michael O'Donnell. And it's Garryspillane coming away again. It's Owen O'Mahony on the run. O'Mahony's already shown what he can do on several occasions in this game, but again, like his last couple of efforts, they've tailed right or left, Matt. And at this stage, Garryspillane are still comfortable with a 3-point lead, but they've been less economical in this second half, and these missed chances could come to haunt them as the game goes on.
Yeah, and Owen O'Mahony will be disappointed with that one, because it certainly was a good chance, and it opened up in front of him, and you just wonder, could he have taken it on another bit? But obviously he went for the point, and again the radar and the execution left him down.
Brilliant catch there from Mark Enright, and then simply lays the ball off to Patrick Kirby. Kirby with a long one down the field. It's batted away by one of the Garryspillane defenders there. I think it was Michael O'Dwyer. It's gone out over the sideline, and linesman Paddy Lyons is saying he's not sure who got the final touch. It's going to be a thrown ball, and John Paul Kiley brings the ball in. It's going to be Jason Gillan looking to win it. There's a Patrickswell man down in back play, down in their defence, down with cramp as Ryan Tobin comes away. Very well hooked by Clive Kirby, but Tobin gets possession again and delivers straight down to Shane Hannon though, and Shane Hannon has playing advantage. I think John Paul Kyle, no free has been given as of yet, but Patrick Kirby has the ball for Patrickswell, and Kirby now under pressure from two Garryspillane men gets the clearance away, and it's Clive Kirby in possession now. Kirby met by Mark Quillen. Quillen did enough to put him off, and it's Ryan Tobin in possession, and Tobin having a stunning second half, as we've already mentioned here. Leaves the ball off to Dylan O'Shea. So O'Shea with a shooting chance, and that's an effort from O'Shea. Looks to be tailing to the left and wide, and again it's another missed chance from Garryspillane, from a Garryspillane point of view, as Cian Enright goes down injured again. Still looks to be suffering from cramp. This time Patrickswell's mentors and medical team are able to get onto him to give him some attention. But Matt, another missed chance. This time it's Dylan O'Shea. It's another wide for Garryspillane, and at this stage they're really starting to rack up.
Yeah, that's their fourth wide of the second half, which is twice as many as they had in the entire first half. They will be very, very disappointed with their return. But again, it was the good work of Ryan Tobin. And he's on the ball again, actually, unbelievably. He has hit so much ball in the second half, and it was a perfect layoff to Dylan O'Shea on his part on that occasion. And Dylan would have really fancied himself all day in that type of situation, but it just didn't happen for him. And is it a free into Garryspillane?
Indeed it is. It's a foul on Peter O'Dwyer. It's going to be another chance for Dylan O'Shea to put Garryspillane into a 4-point lead for the second time in this game. 16 minutes of the second half played here in the Gaelic grounds in this Premier Minor Hurling Championship final, brought to you live on sportinglimerick.com. It's Dylan O'Shea looking for another score, as Garryspillane, of course, looking to retain the title they won last year. Patrickswell haven't won one at this level since 2008. Either way, it's Dylan O'Shea lining this one up, the Garryspillane captain. It's a fine strike from O'Shea. The accuracy is there in this occasion, and that's 111 to 107 now. Garryspillane into a 4-point lead.
Yeah, and he would be relieved to see that one going over, because we're up to the 47th minute. So, like, it's calling for a fairly quick response from Patrickswell now, and there is practically no.
There was a high ball in, an attempted shot from Josh Considine. Adam Sheehan had all the time in the world to try and catch that. He was eye on it the whole time. At the last moment he decided to block it out. Lucky escape, because Cian O'Gorman was flying in. That's going to be Cian O'Gorman's last action of this game, as he comes off for Morgan Higgins, where number 17. It was a goal chance for Cian O'Gorman, Matt, and it was a goal chance that Patrickswell could have done with scoring at this stage. Yeah, actually, and it was sloppy defending on the part of Garryspillane, because they could have paid the price there, because the goal opened for Cian O'Gorman, and he had an opportunity, and like it would have been a 1-point game, and they've obviously made a change now and sent in Morgan Higgins, and this is Patrick Kirby again. It's Kirby. It's a poor enough ball, and Mark Quillen is there to. As Mark Quillen gets it at the second attempt, in fact. It was Robert Sampson who won the initial ball, but either way, away come Garryspillane with Micheál O'Donnell's long ball in. It's breaking. It's going to break though to Paul Buston. You'd imagine, and Buston has time to clear. His clearance isn't the best, and Ryan Tobin for once miscontrols the ball, and it's John Kirby looking to win possession for Patrickswell. Eventually it will come to a Patrickswell man, and it is Kirby who plays it straight down the middle, straight down the line I should say, looking for Calvin Carroll, but Garryspillane are there in numbers once again. That's a lovely low ball across, and it's Owen O'Mahony, lovely low ball. O'Mahony takes it up, gives it to Dylan O'Shea, and O'Shea is chased down by Jason Glenn. O'Shea gets the shot away, and in guess time it's over the bar. That's 2 in a row from O'Shea, and crucially for Garryspillane, with 48.5 minutes played, they go into a 5-point lead, Matt. And at this stage, with 11.5 minutes left of this game, it's Garryspillane that are very much in the ascendancy.
Yeah, and they're 5 points clear, and apart from the execution, the build up to that was absolutely excellent. It was Mark Quinlan out on his right side, diagonally across the field to Owen O'Mahony, who spotted Dylan O'Shea on the run, laid it off, timed the layoff to perfection, and Dylan O'Shea made no mistake.
Run there down the far side again for Garryspillane. It's Peter Dwyer who tried to get a shot away. He was under severe pressure from one of the Patrickswell defenders on that occasion, and he was half hooked and the ball trickled out harmlessly wide as Jason Glenn wins this puck out. It's gone out over the sideline. In fact, it's going to be a free to Patrickswell. Patrick Kirby was unable to gain possession, but plays brought back for a foul on Jason Gillan. On this occasion it was Dylan O'Shea, the Garryspillane captain, who was the man adjudged to have conceded the free in this occasion. It's going to be Calvin Carroll again, as Garryspillane looking ready to make their first substitution of the game. It looks to be Joseph Johnston, who's going to wear number 17, about to enter the fray here at the Gaelic grounds, as Carroll lines this one up. It's another fine strike from Calvin Carroll. That's a fantastic free, straight over the black spot at the city end here in the Gaelic grounds. A fine score as Joseph Johnston gets ready to come on. It's going to be Peter O'Dwyer who comes on, but it's 4 points. It's Peter O'Dwyer coming off, I should say, for Garryspillane, to be replaced by Joseph Johnston, and it's a 4-point lead now. 10 minutes remaining. Garryspillane 112 to 1-8 as Adam Sheehan readies himself to restart the contest here with this puck out. Sheehan's going to go to the far side with it. It's a decent strike, but Josh Considine is there, and it's Considine who wins it. Fairly unopposed there, and Considine's off and run. He's been chased by Micheál O'Donnell, but it's Considine. Gives a great ball across for Jason Gillan. Gillan now with a chance. It's Gillan's strike. It's not Jason's best one, it has to be said, and it's gone to the right and wide. And Matt, it has to be said, it's been an off-colour performance from Jason Gillan. He hasn't been on the freeze. You'd wonder maybe, is that due to an injury, because he takes the freeze at pretty much every level he usually plays at. Calvin Carroll has done fairly well, but Jason hasn't been, his radar has not been what we'd expect of him tonight.
No, and that was an opportunity certainly for him, and it just didn't come off for him. And but you have to say that they're only 4 points up, but as it is at the moment, Garryspillane appear to be comfortable. If you can be comfortable with a 4-point lead, which of course, as you know, you can't, but they look that they're in control to a certain degree, because apart from the opportunity that fell there a while ago, in terms of goal scoring chances, I don't think Patrickswell are worrying the defence that much. Mark Quinlan is having a huge game at centre back, which is massive for Garryspillane, and of course we spoke about the amount of work that Ryan Tobin has put in. He's had a phenomenal second half so far.
Shooting chance now for Patrick Kirby. Decides under pressure from Mark Quinlan to take it on further. In the end, he was cut out by Quinlan and Kieran Sheehan, but Sheehan is unable to keep the ball in play. It's going to be another sideline cut for Patrickswell, and this time is it going to be Patrick Kirby to take this one? It is. And it's going to be Kirby now looking to deliver this one around the edge of the square, you'd imagine. Maybe a bit long. It's a good ball from Kirby. It's a Garryspillane hurley that got it to it, and off comes Adam Sheehan off his line. Under pressure now is Adam Sheehan. Looks to be running down a blind end, and he's lost the ball. Josh Considine looking to win it for Patrickswell, and you just think that Patrickswell may need a mistake to get back into this game, but it's Brian Heavey who does brilliantly to come away with it and clear for Garryspillane now a chance. And it's Shane Hanrahan on the run, and that's a poor strike, a wild strike from Cian Enright. It's going to be a free in for Patrickswell, or for Garryspillane I should say. Needless at one from Cian Enright, and you'd imagine Matt O'Callaghan that he may see a card on this occasion.
Yeah, I think the referee is going to call him over. Apart from he's checking with his linesman again.
I think he's just making sure he's the right man.
He's making absolutely certain that he has the right man. A needless free, a free that's given away at a time when we're into the last 7 minutes of the game. His team are showing signs of a mini revival, and this gives Garryspillane an opportunity. It's nailed on that Dylan O'Shea will punish this one and put it over the bar.
It's O'Shea with the strike, and as Matt O'Callaghan said, it's nailed on, and indeed it is. It's a 5-point lead for Garryspillane now. They lead Patrickswell with nearly just over 6 minutes of ordinary time left. It is Premier Minor Hurling Championship Final, brought to you live on sportinglimerick.com. Just as we were talking there, indeed, Cian Enright was shown a yellow card for that, as Owen O'Mahony, right in front of us here in the commentary box, is blown up for charging with the ball. It's going to be another free for Patrickswell through Calvin Carroll. And Carroll now, maybe even with 6 minutes of ordinary time left, you'd imagine he'll try and drop this one over, but won't be too disappointed if it drops around the square either, you'd think. It's Carroll, it's another fine strike, it's a high one. Looks to be fairly good from our angle. That's another fantastic free from Calvin Carroll. And Matt, just a quick one on his technique from these long range ones. He put the last two over. It looks effortless from Calvin Carroll.
Yeah, that's what struck me, and we got a bird's eye view of it. He was straight underneath us here. It was an effortless effort that he put it over the bar. He has an absolutely laid back, lovely style, lovely technique, and effective technique, as we have seen. And it's more effective, it seems, with the more difficult they are, the better.
Ryan Tobin again on the ball here for Garryspillane. Tobin on the run. He's got a man outside, he's got a man inside him. It was Shane Hanrahan, his former midfield partner. Hanrahan partnered him in the first half, but unable to take possession, and away come Patrickswell. They're going to get a free. They work the ball away instead as Patrick Kirby inside to the aforementioned Carroll. We've seen him score these before at senior level. That one looks to be to the left and wide. On this occasion, though, it's a wide effort from Calvin Carroll. And Matt, we've mentioned it in the last 5-6 minutes anyway. Patrickswell can't really afford at this stage to be hitting anything off target, as they trail by 4 points with 4.5 minutes of ordinary time remaining.
Yeah, Garryspillane are in a very, very, very strong position. They've just got to, keep their shape, keep doing what they're doing, and you'd have to say that you would fancy them to see out the game at this stage.
Cian Enright lays the ball back. It's a half block clearance, falls to Jason Gallan, does brilliantly to keep that in play. As Gallan, he's going to try one from long range. It's going to drop around the square. There isn't too many players in there from a Patrickswell point of view, and Garryspillane come away with it. It's Kieran Sheehan eventually hand passes the ball out, and away come Garryspillane again. It is indeed Mark Quinlan on the run. Quinlan, fantastic run for Quinlan. The clearance isn't brilliant though, and well won by John Kirby for Patrickswell. Kirby had a free man down there. It was Calvin Carroll, the one player you'd want free. He wasn't able to find him, and away come Garryspillane again. It's Quinlan on it once more for Garryspillane, playing a fine game at centre back. He gives it inside to Joseph Johnston. The Garryspillane stuff. It's a poor ball from Johnston. Adam Carrick does well to intercept. It's Kirby again here. He's a man outside him. Kirby decides to go low. It's a poor swing by Johnston just on the field. A couple of moments. He was initially gave that ball away. Obviously frustrated by that. He let his frustration out, Matt. It's probably going to be a card for Joseph Johnston, but only his second impact in the game.
Second intervention, and it's going to be a card, and it's going to give Calvin Carroll. It's actually within his compass from what we have seen. It is no longer than the last one he hit, and in terms of angle, it's more favourable. So this could make it a 3-point game and make it a very interesting last 3 minutes.
It's another fine high strike from Carroll. It looks to be good, judging by the Garryspillane men on the line. They block the ball out. The ball is taken away brilliantly in the end. It was flicked away, dangerous ball. And that's a poor foul, a needless foul to give away by Cormac Kearns. But it's good defending in the end by Garryspillane, and indeed, Matt, it was Robert Sampson who got the initial block was made by one of the players on the line. There was 2 or 3 of them went up for it, but it was Sampson who, as a Patrickswell player, was running in, got the kick away, got the ball immediately out of danger. And Garryspillane maintain their 4-point lead and have a free now to get them out of danger.
They have, and I'm looking at Davy Ryan down below us here, and he's saying, lads, calm it down, calm it down. They probably know that they are within striking distance. We have Ryan Tobin in action again.
Tobin tries the shot, but he's brilliantly blocked down by Calvin Carroll at this stage, and Calvin Carroll kicks it away. Great battle by himself and Ryan Tobin in the second half, but again it's Quinlan. It's Quinlan again for Garryspillane. Manages to find Peter Morrissey in this occasion. Morrissey taking on a couple of defenders, beats John Kirby inside to Johnston. Johnston, a low ball inside to Callum Sheehan. Sheehan can't catch it at the first time, but he eventually rounds man. Sheehan goes for goal, it's gone over the bar. More importantly for Garryspillane, it was on target. Goal or point at this stage, it doesn't really matter, and they're into a 4-point lead, 5-point lead I should say, with what, a minute and a half left of ordinary time. And Matt, it's clear from that Sheehan hasn't seen a lot of ball in the second half, but he wasn't able to catch it initially, but the second he got into his hand was turned and it was straight over the bar.
It was a good ball by Joe Johnson, and he deliberately picked out Callum Sheehan, and because he obviously he was on the run, he could have gone for the target himself, but he obviously saw Callum Sheehan inside, and Joe Brown has just put up the board, and it says that there's going to be 3 minutes. So we're in effectively into the last 4 minutes. We have a free to Garryspillane in their own half-back line. They're 5 points up. I think Dylan O'Shea has gone back to take it.
Indeed he has. It's going to be a long one here from Dylan O'Shea. It's a fine strike from O'Shea. Looks to have the legs. Didn't really have the legs. Kept in play by Garryspillane, corner forward on that occasion. It's going to be a free out for Patrickswell as Garryspillane are lining up their second substitution of this evening's game. With 20 seconds of ordinary time, then another 3 minutes of this Premier Minor Hurling Championship final at the Gaelic Grounds, brought to you live on SportingLimerick.com as Patrickswell coming in attack. They know they need goals as Patrick Kirby. He gives it to Clive Kirby. Kirby now on the run. It's a needless foul, probably a needed foul, a professional foul there by Mark Quinlan. He certainly knew what he was doing as Cian McCarthy gets ready to come on for Garryspillane. Their second sub, as we already mentioned. A bit of a shamazel there developing after that free was awarded. Much ado about nothing, Matt O'Callaghan, and you'd have to imagine that Patrickswell will have to try and fashion a goal from this chance.
Well, because we're into the last 3 minutes, we're into time added on. Again, John Paul Kiley is checking with his linesman, and I suppose in fairness, it's only fair to say, John, that John Paul Kiley has had a very, very good game. He has handled the game very well. He's been totally consistent with what he has blown from both sides, and from very early on to steer what the parameters were, what he would allow and what he wouldn't allow. And I think fair credit to the referee and his officials. They've handled the game very well.
Fine performance from referee John Paul Kiley of Fedamore. It's a yellow card each for Patrick Kirby and Mark Quinlan as Calvin Carroll lines this one up. It's a low one from Calvin Carroll. It's blocked by, I think it's Mark Quinlan, maybe it's not. It's blocked either way out for a 65. In fact, Matt, no surprise to see it was Ryan Tobin getting the block on that. A stunning performance in the second half as Patrickswell will have to drop this one in. They eventually, Cian O'Mahony gets onto the field. It's going to be Jack O'Reilly, the man who comes off the Garryspillane team. It's Calvin Carroll anyway preparing to take this 65. You'd imagine it's not Calvin Carroll, of course, it's Adam Carey. Calvin Carroll has come in, dropped inside to try and pick up a few loose pieces, but it's Carrick anyway. Dangerous ball in from Carrick. It's a good ball in from Carrick. It's dropped and it's flicked away. It's come to Calvin Carroll. He'll go low with the shot. It's a low bouncing one from Carroll, but it's Garryspillane that clear, and it's Dylan O'Shea who's back there, the Garryspillane captain, listed at centre forward, but is back in his own full back line. That occasion is Peter Morrissey wins possession for Garryspillane. 2 minutes of added time played here. It's Morrissey's ball in. Ordinarily it would have been a good ball, but there was no member of the Garryspillane full forward line anywhere near possession that occasion. And it's going to be a sideline ball here for Patrickswell, Matt O'Callaghan.
And the unfortunate thing from a Garryspillane point of view and from Peter Morrissey's point of view was that Ryan Tobin, and there we mention Ryan Tobin again, was right on his shoulder, right loose, and he just didn't spot it. But we're into the last minute now, and Patrickswell have to throw everything at it. Oh, that's a great, I said a piece of fielding, but look, Garryspillane are bringing it away.
Kieran Sheehan yet again. He initially looked like he caught the ball. He kicked the ball out over the end line, eventually just threw Josh Considine to the ground. It could be a card for Sheehan, and Garryspillane hit the ball away as well, so John Paul Kiley may be perfectly within his rights to bring that ball closer to goals. Time's up here at the Gaelic grounds. It looks to be Garryspillane have won this Premier Minor Hurling Championship for a second year in a row. Garryspillane now, Patrickswell have a chance here. We've 15 seconds over the 3 minutes, 5 points in it. It's going to be Jason Gallan who's going to go for this one. Patrickswell need a goal, and then they'll need another goal straight after that from the puck out. It's a fine effort from Gallan, beautifully struck shot, but just that little bit high. And there's 4 point lead for Garryspillane now, but time looks to be up. John Paul Kiley is calling for the ball. Matt O'Callaghan. It's another victory for Garryspillane. Joy for Davy Ryan and James O'Keefe in front of us here in the commentary box, and their backroom team of Brian O'Shea and Dave Dawson, Kitman Pat Doyle and First Stage Siobhan Ryan, all celebrating here in front of us. What a couple of weeks for the Garryspillane club, Matt O'Callaghan. 2 county titles from hurling. They won the Premier Intermediate against Bruff 2 weeks ago, last Saturday. They followed that up a few days later with the Intermediate Football Championship crown with Galbally. And now yet again here, they've won the Premier Minor Championship for the second year running. I said to you last week about Galbally, what a week it had been. We've to expand it further. What a couple of weeks, and what a year in total it's been for the Garryspillane club.
Absolutely, it has been fantastic. But look, John, and I'm close to the scene out there. It's nothing more than they deserved, because they've got the structures of their club bang on cue, and they've got a very, very vibrant underage structure, well structured underage structure, and this is the second big dividend that they have got out of it. One worry I had about Garryspillane coming down today and coming down tonight, and we mentioned about the key players that were in the Garryspillane team at the start, where that 4 of those players played a full 65, almost 70 minutes in Dungarvan last Sunday. Dylan O'Shea, Ryan Tobin, Callum Sheehan, Mark Quinlan. And I feared somewhat what kind of a toll to take on them, but I suppose we got our answer. We got our answer there this evening in tonight. In that the answer is it didn't, and I suppose there is absolutely no doubt about it. The 2 previous times they drew, I think there is no doubt at all about it, and I think Garryspillane chose the right occasion when to break clear and get the victory. I did tip Garryspillane during the week. I thought that when push came to shove, with the lads that had the regular experience during the summer with playing intermediate hurling, that it would stand to him and that it would probably take him over the line. And I suppose that was borne out particularly with the performance of Ryan Tobin, who was absolutely immense, and I in my view, man of the match.
I was just going to say to you, Matt, we aren't picking a man of the match here, but Ryan Tobin was absolutely everywhere, especially in that second half. He was on Calvin Carroll initially. He saw Calvin Carroll off. Josh Considine was then moved on to him. 2 highly talented Patrickswell senior hurlers, and a big impacted senior hurling this year. He saw Josh Considine off then, and then had an impact. And you mentioned it here, Garryspillane's last act. The game was effectively over at that stage, but Ryan Tobin was in the full back line when the ball came in from Patrickswell, and he was there ready to take the pass if Peter Morrissey had a look up. And an engine, as you said, played the full 70 odd minutes against Clonea last Sunday. And again, he's not the only fantastic Garryspillane player I showed today, but he certainly took it to a different level tonight.
Yeah, but there was one incident there late in the game with about 3 or 4 minutes to go where he was in a tussle with a player, and the Patrickswell player was coming away, but he kept hassling him until the Garryspillane support came and they turned it over. That was the type of performance, and that's sort of some of the unseen work that players put in from time to time. But in terms of prominence, he was everywhere, and he used the ball very well. And certainly the night belongs to Garryspillane, the evening belongs to Garryspillane. They're worthy winners. They're deserving of making it back-to-back successes in the competition. congratulations, Garryspillane. Hard luck, Patrickswell.
Well, that's it from us here in the Gaelic grounds. It's a